All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. Here, far and near. Hey, friends, welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Stereo FM studios. Let's see. Whenever I get a text, I'm always on edge. I'm an anxious little fucker. Thank you for being here. Impact Power Sports online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Go there, look at the ATVs, UTVs, the motorcycles, side by sides. Some of those might be the same thing. Thank you, Molly. She gave me some of those Twitch points or Twitch bits that have monetary value. You are a sweet soul. So, yeah, I guess that's a thing. You go ahead and you put cash into your account and you get bits, and then you can give them to your favorite streamers. And then your streamers get to cash in. She gave me 15 of those. I don't know what that means. Is that like $1.50? I don't know the current value of it, how it works. Let's see. Chris writes 10 a.m. big fraud time, right on time. Yeah, I started actually at 9:59, and then I ran down and made the coffee. Jeremy says, proud of you, Easy. I'm like, I was busy most of the morning today gathering up clips for Who Are These Free Beers. And I'm pretty confident that Ben and I have so much material that we have enough for a second show. Like the next time we do it, we'll probably have enough clips so we won't even have to get clips. Because I know Ben had a ton of clips and I am working my way through. I'm almost done and I have 20 myself. I'll say this. One of the shows that I reviewed was one of the days that Free Beer was not there. And I actually have a lot to say about that show, but I'm only going to focus on one thing for the upcoming Who Are These Free Beers? And that is Hot Wings. On the day that Free Beer was not there, it was Tuesday, the 1st of October. Dude was an open book, which is saying something. And I was almost taken back. I was taken back. I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like, he starts talking about the process of the divorce. I mean, all really intricate stuff. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, why don't you ever do this? Why now? Why is it Greg's gone and you? God, it was weird. But I'm making a montage of clips of Hot Wings, and in it, I don't want to steal any thunder from the bit. I'll just save it for when we talk about it on the show later tonight for Who Are These Free Beers. But I've got a lot of high point moments. I honestly, rarely do I go into these shows. In fact, I don't think ever have I gone into these shows saying this is going to be the high water mark. This is going to be the best show we've ever done. But I'm starting to feel that way, at least about the clips that I have and the clips that Ben has. I mean, it's a stacked deck of shit is what it is. So I'm always excited to share that with you and review one of our favorite morning shows of all time, the Free Beer and Hot Wing Show. Bob says, could it be a special 2-hour Who Are These Free Beers? It could very easily be a special 2-hour Who Are These Free Beers, but I would save that for something very, very special. Like a very special, happy moment, like if Free Beer's plane crashed. I'm not kidding. You know how it is. Those are the jokes. Those are the jokes that I say. Jeremy says the Kelly noise I sent was top notch. I think I can focus on that for the audience here. You sent it along. Let's see. I get so many damn emails. Jeremy sent along a clip of our beloved Kelly. He writes, why does she sound like this? Falling behind on listening to our heroes, but Kelly made a great, clean, prolonged noise on October 3rd. First, can't wait to talk about blank segment around the room. Honestly, you could pull a lot from that hot garbage. Maitland's contribution is how she's washing a pair of shoes. I actually heard that clip. Hi, I'm Maitland, and I washed my shoes. Swear to God. That poor thing. All right. This is the clip that he sent along.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'd buy a whole new pair.
Yeah.
I'd throw them in the washing machine and say, good luck, good luck, good luck.
It probably works. That's not very...
All right, so there you go. Talking about washing the shoes.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'd buy a whole new.
Even that, she's talking fast, and she says, ooh, I don't like that. But it comes out as...
Yeah, I don't like that. I'd buy
And then on the back half of that, she makes that...
a whole new pair.
Yeah.
I'd throw them in the washing machine and say, good luck, good luck, good luck.
It probably works. That's not very...
Yeah, I don't like that. I'd buy a whole new pair.
Yeah.
I'd throw them in the washing machine and say, good luck, good luck, good luck.
It probably works. That's not...
I wrote back. I go, oh, yeah, I heard it. I go, Kelly's voice reminds me of a chick who's been ran through quite a bit. You know? Like, kind of like clapped out. My God. The fuck are you doing? When she's just talking, then I think that's kind of like the sweet spot. But outside of that, it's diminished returns. You can't really if you know that she's capable of that horrible sound, you don't hire her. You know, you don't want to hire the people that sound like shit. Chris says, ass of a 34-year-old, voice of an 80-year-old smoker. Jeremy says, rode hard and put up wet. This guy is a stud, writes, you're like that actor from the 90s. All right. I don't know what that means. So, all right. That is kind of like an idea of what we have going on with Who Are These Free Beers later on today. This guy is a turd, I think is a stud. I thought it said is a turd. Says, I have to break you because am too kind to women. Don't know what that means. Talks about the microphone. And I don't know what you're I don't know what you're getting at. Maybe a little bit more background. Write in complete sentences, and I'll be able to follow along because I love to communicate with the chat, as everybody knows. The chat is my favorite part of the show lately. We have been having so much content created by the chat. It's been goddamn gold. Absolutely awesome. And the reason why is because I'm so good at interacting with you. You guys are awesome. And I'm just excited that I am able to put my talents on full display for you by taking your comments and making them exquisite content on this show. I want to share with you a phone call that I got in between shows yesterday. It said warning spam call when it started to ring. And then I picked it up anyway. And the person starts talking about voting for, what do you call it? One of those marketing calls trying to get me to vote for Kamala Harris. So I said, okay, hold on. And then I hit record so that I could get the audio. And this is that phone call. I'm sorry, you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right. You were saying.
I was saying Donald Trump brags about overturning Roe v. Wade and ending abortion, and Kamala Harris will fight to protect the reproductive freedom and abortion rights. Can we count on your vote for Kamala for president?
Yeah, I am going to vote for her.
Great. Voting has started at your local clerk's office. Check out michigan.gov/vote to find your location. Can we count on your vote this week?
I usually do it day of because I like to go. I live in this hillbilly community where all these idiots vote for Trump, and I like to actually go there and annoy them on the day of.
Okay. Well, when you vote for Kamala, please also vote for Elisa Slotkin for Senate. Thanks paid for
wait
by
a minute. Make sure you got to say it right. It's Slotkin. You got to say Slotkin. You can't say Slotkin.
Elisa Slotkin.
God damn it.
Senate.
No,
Thanks.
it's Alyssa. It's Alyssa Slotkin.
Alyssa?
Yes, sir.
Alyssa Slotkin. Okay.
All right.
I greatly appreciate it. Paid for by Reproductive Freedom for All and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committed Reproductive Freedom for All.
That's all right.
Have a good one.
I love abortion.
Okay.
That guy is, he's obviously my favorite person that I've talked to in a long time. Yeah, if you're gonna stump for people, you got to get the name right. This poor guy was saying Elisa Slotkin. It's Alyssa Slotkin, my friend. I'm going to play the last half of that again.
Okay. Well, when you vote for Kamala, please also vote for Elisa Slotkin for Senate. Thanks paid for by
Make sure you got to say it right. It's Slotkin. You got to say Slotkin. You can't say Slotkin.
Elisa Slotkin.
God damn it.
Senate.
No,
Thanks.
it's Alyssa. It's Alyssa Slotkin.
Alyssa?
Yes, sir.
Alyssa Slotkin. Okay.
All right.
I greatly appreciate it. Paid for by Reproductive Freedom for All and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committed Reproductive Freedom for All.
That's all right.
Have a good one.
I love abortion.
Okay.
Chris writes, God, I love black people voices and the way they talk. I do too. Bob says hooked on phonics didn't work for him. No, it worked fine. He just had trouble with the name. No, black culture is awesome. You're right, Chris. Everything about it is, it's black people are always better at, captivating and storytelling. That's why the best comics, in my opinion, are the black people. Because they're just better at conveying messages, and it's just fun to listen to. I hope nobody takes offense to that. But I could listen to Chris Rock all day. What's the little guy's name? Kevin Hart. Dave Chappelle is my all-time favorite. Fucking great. There are some whiteys that I like. I just saw a great clip of Louis C.K. that Ben Glaze sent to me. Very funny. I'm not going to play it right now, though. I'm too lazy. Anthony Jeselnik is one of my favorites. Chris says the little guy is probably taller than you. That is not true. I think he's like 5'2". How tall is Kevin Hart? Okay, he's 5'5". I tower over that fucker. I'm 5'8". God damn it. Yesterday, I left the confines of the house. And I had to host the VIP party for the Grand Rapids Marathon. Now, this is basically a get-together for the sponsors of this race, and there's a lot of them, and the volunteers. It's at a nice car dealership where the guy who was the race director, Don Kern, he has a relationship with the Jaguar dealership. So we're in a Jaguar dealership in this open space, and it's my job to say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the man of the hour, Don Kern. Hello, I am. This is what I do. Good to see you all. And hold on a second. There's something going on in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Just ignore the troublemaker. I don't have the energy to block anybody right now because I just want to chit chat. Let them go. Just ignore them. So I walk in there and I realize right away that I'm going to have an anxiety attack. I go, shit. Everybody is talking, and I am like faced with the reality that I'm just standing there with my thumb up my ass. I'm like, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to either have to leave. And thank you for the reminder, Chris. I'm going to have to leave and come back. Now, it's I got there at 6. Thing doesn't start till 7. And then, he goes, I want you to be there at 6, Don, so that I can give you the, what we're doing here. I get there at 6. He tells me what I'm doing. It takes 1 minute. Now I've got 59 minutes to kill. And I'm like, good God. What the hell am I going to do? So I'm standing there. And then I take a picture of the crowd, and I send it off to Linda. I said, I'm coming unglued, having an anxiety attack. I don't know what to do. Now, what I came to the realization is I have to walk up to people and talk. I have to, Now, there were some people that I knew there. I'll get to my interactions with them in a second because it was outrageously funny. But outside of those, I'm like, God damn, what do I do now? So I go, well, I'm going to go take a walk. I walk outside of the facility. I'm walking down the street. And I go, all right, I'm going to go to my car. I go to my car, I get in, and I'm scrolling through the internet. Like, this is embarrassing. Get your fucking ass in there and go talk to people, you dumbass. Wander back in there. Start doing my thing. this fellow who I recognized, I did the old, of course, I don't remember names. And I go, excuse me, have we met before? And he goes, yep. And he told me his name. And we all have name tags on, too. So I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, well, how are you? He's one of the volunteers. And so I had a nice conversation. A lot of those conversations are like, hey, I met you at, we did this. And I'm always like, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, all right. Yeah. How's he doing? So one of those deals. Now that guy, well, I don't even remember his name right now. When I was going to leave, I'm actually saying goodbye to people that I had spoken with. And this guy was one of them. And I go, hey, it was good seeing you. I'll talk to you later. And I don't know why I did this, but again, I don't know this person. Looked reasonably familiar, but that was the extent of it. While saying goodbye, handshake, and then he had to have been wondering what was going on because I went under his arms and wrapped my arms around him. I'm holding this man. And he was like trying to walk away while I'm holding on to him. And then I'm in my brain, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you holding him in an embrace? That had to have felt and looked, well, I know it looked and felt terrible because I was doing it. And I go, oh, it was just this moment in time where it was all odd. And I really struggle in these social situations like this. I'm getting more awkward. And that was a manifestation of it. And I don't know. Why did I do that? I wish someone would have seen it and then called me out on it right there. You know? My God. Matt says no better cure for anxiety than assault. Chris says, oh no, why? LOL. And Chris also asks, who was it? I don't know. I'd have to ask my friend Scotty Belland who was there. Chris says, maybe you're 9% gay now. Yeah, I think I have been. I think I'm even up to more than that. Mooney 2256 unrelated says, can you talk about your time when you worked at the Riff? Oh God, that was a long time ago. No, it was 26 years ago, and it was horrible. It was one of the worst displays of radio by me in the history of me. Anyway, let's stay focused here. Let's talk about this. Continue this nonsense. Now, Scotty Bellin, I mentioned him. He may have seen this. Okay? And I'm not sure if he did or not. I might have to call him. But I don't want to catch him off guard, and I don't want to get him at a bad time. He indicated that he has been listening to the show. So, Scotty, when you get to this point in the show, if you saw this, can you let me know? And then we can come back to it and discuss in detail what was going through your mind when you saw me grab onto this man who I don't know. Becca says, did that guy make you feel better? Maybe that's why you hugged him. You know, I don't know. He was very friendly. Everybody there was very friendly. But I'm just trying to figure out what he was thinking about when I did that. I mean, that's very, very bizarre. Prior to that, I'm standing next to Shelley Irwin, who is a prominent talk show host in Grand Rapids. She works on WGVU, public radio. She's a morning drive talk show host. she walked in and everybody wanted to talk to her. She's so sweet. She had me on her show when I gave away the kidney. She's just fantastic. And she's big in the running community. And she's having a conversation with someone else. And I'm waiting patiently so that I can go and reintroduce myself to her and say hello. While I'm standing there, and I should, before I get into the story, I should probably tell you that when I walked out the door, I remember looking at myself and saying, holy shit, you are so handsome. Your hair looks better than ever, self. I am so impressed with how you look. Now, I would tell myself that all the time, but it was especially true yesterday. While standing next to Shelly Irwin, is it Sherry? Yeah, I'm a big fan. I can't even remember her fucking name. Yeah, that's Shelly Irwin. All of a sudden, this man comes walking up to me. This was a very gay day for me. He says, hello, how are you? I said, just fine, sir. How are you? He says, I'm well. My name is, and puts out his hand. And I go, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I am Eric. And he says, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a host here, and I am a PA announcer by trade. I didn't want to get into any of the radio stuff. I didn't want to get into any of the podcasting stuff. It always opens up Pandora's box. It always is a long, drawn-out conversation. It's always a pain in the ass. You know, like when you meet somebody and they say, I'm a plumber, or I'm a writer, or I'm a musician. That's all everybody knows. To say, I'm a podcaster. I mean, I guess they'll be able to figure that out, of course, but then it just leads to, and again, I'm an anxious little fucker. I don't want to have these conversations. But and remember, I told you I'm anxious as fuck, and I had told myself to get over it and go in there and interact with people. So I end up hugging some man, and then I have this conversation. And and he goes, I go, how about you? And he says, well, I am in charge, and he explains what he's one of the sponsors. And then about 2/3 of the way into this, I got the feeling that this sweet soul was maybe looking for some man-on-man companionship. Yeah, everybody, it's your old pal EZ to talk about one of my amazing partners, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile's done it right, you know. If you're like a sucker who's trapped paying tons of money to big wireless, it's time to end that cycle. You see, with big wireless, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. I've seen this happen so many times, especially with Pooh Bear, when she breaks her phone and gets a new one. Oh, yeah, it's only going to cost me this much. And get home, and it's a complete disaster. I need a personal loan to pay the bill. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about the gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. Okay, Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans. I do this, and you should too. My bill went from astronomical to $15 a month for my phone. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. The game is up for big wireless. We are on to you. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Zane. That's mintmobile.com/Zane. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Zane. $45 upfront payment required. That's equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower, over 40 gig on unlimited plan, but you'll be fine. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Chris says, "Hi, I'm Eric Zaitunian. I don't like talking about myself." So now I realized it. I think because I look pretty gay. I mean, there's no question. Everybody always says that I look like I'm kind of gay. And I think I am a little gay. But not gay enough to be like gay. Just slight gay. Like I'm about as gay that I can watch it. Oh my God, that guy, that's a handsome guy right there. You know? So I thought that maybe this guy thought that I might have been gay. And so we're having this nice conversation. And I'm giving him no gay vibes. Plus, I got my fucking wedding ring on, for God's sake. And so it was short and sweet. I think he was towing in the water to see if I'd be interested in any type of gayness. Or perhaps he was just having a conversation. But I don't know. It seemed like a bit of like he was shooting a shot. And then after a handful of seconds, my man didn't let it get awkward, to his credit. And he said, "Well, it's nice meeting you, Eric." And I said, "It is nice meeting you too, so-and-so." And then off he went. Fuckface talking to Shelly never did finish up. So I was like, God damn it, I got to go. So I never did have that conversation with her. Becca says, "What does gay look like, LOL?" I don't know. I'm just telling you what people tell me. Matt Peak writes, "Do we have to sub to your Grindr account so we don't see ads?" Yeah, I don't know. That's still left over from Kenny's big drama yesterday, his massive overreaction. He told the chat no less than 5 times that he doesn't like ads on the Twitch. Oh, God. So dramatic. Every 15 minutes, we got a new moment where Kenny's like, "Oh, my God, I can't believe it." Supposedly, there is another new clip of your old pal EZ that Jeremy has just hammered out. So here you go. I'm kind of gay. And I think I am a little gay. But not gay enough to be like gay. So stupid. Thank you. Molly writes, "Well, EZ, everyone that complains, add 1 minute of ads. You can do up to 22 minutes in an hour." I didn't know that. My God. All right. So that took place. So in order to get to that clip right there, I was able to, I'm now going to go ahead and, we got a few people here I think that need to be banned. So I'll do just that. Because they're annoying the hell out of everybody in the chat. All right. But to me, the next conversation, remember I mentioned Scotty Bellin, my pal. I've known Scotty for a long, long time. And he and his lovely better half are there. And, oh, hang on a second here. God damn it. sorry. I'm kind of distracted today. So I walk in and Scotty's there, and I talk to him, and I go, "Where's your better half?" And he points over there, and there she is. I go walking up to Katie, and I go, "Hey, how are you?" And she turns around and looks at me, and it's like it looked like she was seeing a ghost. Okay, and but we had a normal conversation, and then a little bit of time passes, and she says something. It might have been the best thing I've heard in a long, long time. She goes, "You look younger." I go, "What?" She says, "You look younger." What happened to you? I go, "Well, that's the best thing I've ever heard. That is incredible. And I gave her a hug. I go, "I look younger." Her husband's just standing there, Scotty, and he's looking at me, "What the fuck?" Scotty's not saying that. Hey, okay. I go, "I'm fatter. Could that be it?" She goes, No. I don't. And then we had this conversation like twice. Later on, I started talking to her, and she goes, "It's really blowing my mind. I can't believe this. How young you look. How are you doing this? We're all getting older, and you're getting younger." And I'm like, holy shit, I got to send her flowers. Linda says it's the hair. And don't forget, King's Room Barbershop, they have changed the hair. It might be the hair. Chris says fat smooths out wrinkles. Who knows? So maybe a combination of fat face and hair. I don't know, but that was fucking awesome. Funny that fat smoothing out wrinkles. There was a conversation we had when Diana and I went to Tennessee to our favorite piano bar, and this sweet lady named Nisi is playing. We've seen her for years. You always go to the same place and see Nisi. And Diana has a conversation with her, and Nisi says, they get into a discussion of age, and Nisi says that she's 70. Now, Nisi is, she makes Kenny look like he's been on a hunger strike for 50 years, okay? She's that type of fat. She's the type of fat that she'd be on a scooter at Walmart. Scooter fat. She says she's 70 years old. And Danny goes, "My God, Nisi, you don't look like you're 70. And Nisi's a real wild child. And she goes, "Oh, it's the fat." And we just like, oh, fucking shit. Don't say that. And she goes, "Yeah, the fat in my face is so fat, it smooths out my wrinkles." And we're like, oh, don't say that shit. All right. Jeremy makes a horrible comment about our pal Katie. Come on now. She wants to hop on the partially functional D. Come on. You know, these are friends of the family, you asshole. I just said her sweet husband, friend of mine, Scotty, listens to this fucking show. You moron. You see, that's like a combination of worlds. Like even when Scotty said to me, "Yeah, I've been listening. I'm back. I'm on Monday." This is on Thursday night. Wait a minute. Wednesday night. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. Wednesday night. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on Monday's show." When he told me he listens, I was like, ugh. I mean, I love that people are listening, but what have I said recently? What have I said recently that's, suspect? And I can never, ever let that notion get into my brain enough. I'm better off not knowing that people are listening. Because when I know that people are listening that may have not even thought about even listening. Like sometimes I think about the shit I say. There's no one actually listening. In some cases, that's true. I'm almost like, oh, fuck. Can you believe? I mean, I say some fucked up shit on here. You know? So it just kind of cooked my brain a little bit. And it shouldn't, you know? This is my livelihood. All right. So that was quite an event. And then I was able to. So he said, Big Don says to me, Don Kern, this legend, he says, okay, I want you to go ahead and talk for about 5 minutes and do your thing. I go, what do you mean? Yeah, you know, just tell some stories. You know, I go, okay. So I did my thing. I think it came off okay. It was 99% Eric Zaitunian. You know, I said to him ahead of time, I go, how many people here are actually running this marathon? And he goes, just a handful. I go, okay, great. Because knowing that, now I have to figure out who I'm actually talking to. If it were a room full of people that are actually doing the marathon, that'd be a different conversation, thing that I would talk about. But these are people who are basically spending a lot of money with Don. I'm not going to say that what I said was boring, because anything I say, if I'm talking, it's not boring. You all know that. So it wasn't boring, but it wasn't like a lot of fireworks. I was getting by by keeping it moving. And I knew that I'd be handing the ball off to Don. And Don is long-winded. So all I got to do is be brief, don't fuck up, keep it above board, hand the ball off to 3 yards and a cloud of dust. I did. It worked out. Amy says, so no poop stories then. No. In fact, I did in my brain think, can you imagine if you told the poop story to this group of people? Because he says to me, he goes, talk about your experiences from the Grand Rapids Marathon. So this was an experience with the Grand Rapids Marathon. Now, this was at a time in my life when this was like I worked my fucking ass off, and my goal is to run a really great time. And so I'm like warming up before the race, you know, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to do great. And then it happened. As Chris writes, it was ages ago, time to get back at it. Yeah, but I did talk with a couple of the physicians from Michigan, University of Michigan Health West. And the conversation I had was, yeah, I'm getting a new knee. And they go, well, we got a guy who can give you a new knee. So I think after yesterday's appearance, now I'm front burnering the new knee because I can't take a step until I get the new knee. And I even talked to Dr. Ed. I go, so running on that piece of hardware, what do you think about that? He goes, what about it? I go, is there anything that can keep me? I mean, do I have to run slow? Do I have to run short distances? Can I really jam it? Can I work hard? He goes, yeah. He goes, the way those are built now are outrageously awesome. You can put them through there's no way you can damage the knee. It's better than a human knee. I'm like, what? He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, now, you know they cut your leg off. Like above the knee, everything is severed, bone structure. Below the knee, same thing. Then they pull that out and throw it away. And then they put the new one in, put you all back together, stitch you up, send you on your way. Man. All right. So I'm warming up for this race. This is many, many years ago. I'm going to run probably a $1:28 on this half marathon. And all of a sudden I had the urge. Now, we're probably 6 minutes from the start of this race. I'm like, Okay, this is serious. This is really serious. There's a line for all those porta-johns, and I'm at the start-finish line. I'm like, oh, boy. So I start running. And just off of the road that we're on, it's a neighborhood. And the sun's barely up. It's, not broad daylight. I go in between a couple of houses. And, yeah, it goes down. And the thought that there could be like a child looking out the window at me shitting in between the houses. I'm like, oh, my God. And now I need to wipe my ass. And I had a hat not that different than this one. Okay? Winter cap. And, yeah, that's right. The winter cap. So that means at some point in the near future, shortly thereafter, one of those homeowners walked over there and saw this giant man shit with a hat with shit on it. God damn. Stevie says, what an animal. Yeah, but I mean, I had no choice. And so then I dropped all that, and I felt like $1 million. So that was my warm-up, because I had to get over there, do that, run back, get to the start-finish line, and then get after the race. Horrendous. Oh, my God. I can't. In fact, I was thinking about, man, if I had told this story to this group while they were eating, Jesus. Becky says, how funny would it be if that homeowner was a new listener? Not at all. All right. So that was kind of my day yesterday. Bob says you got to use a sock. You're better off. Back in the day when I would do this, I would, if I was going on a long run, I would just do an out and back. Like 1 mile out, 1 mile back, just to start, because I knew the jostling would make me have to go to the bathroom. Happened all the time. What was your time in that race? I think it was about $1:28, hour 28. That's about as fast as I'd ever gone, was in that race. I think at Disney I did one at about that same pace. But yeah, those were great days. Those were great days. I was obsessed with that type of activity, endurance sports. I mean, that's all I would do. I'd get home from the radio station at like 11 a.m., and then I'd train all day. All day. Pooh Bear's like, can we go out to eat? No, I got to go swim 3 miles. Ugh. She's like, it's like this is your mistress. I'm like, she's probably thinking to herself, yeah, I would actually see more of him. I would see more of him if he was actually banging some chick on the side. Donut Dan says ADHD, bro. Actually, with the addictive personality by your old pal EZ, that's pretty much, I think, what was going on there. But I enjoyed that. Holy fuck, did I enjoy it. And then one day I stopped enjoying it because it became like work. And I was working so hard at the radio station at WBBL, putting in a lot of time trying to make it, make that show get off the ground. That I said, all right, I gotta get out. I can't do it anymore. Too much time. So that was that. All right. Thank you so much for the folks on Facebook and Facebook and YouTube for watching. Chris says Cloud Kicker didn't help either. You mean my whistleblower who whistled out on Kyle Paffhausen? Yeah, that was something. Kyle, this guy is saying this about you, and he sent me this image of you with an arrest record Is this true? Yeah, but I had a bad lawyer. Oh. Well, wait right here. I got to go take a walk. Go into the boss's office. Boss, you won't believe it. A whistleblower gave me this information about Kyle. Oh, the steam that came out of his... Crystal! Bring me that asshole's application. He lied on the application. Question was, have you ever been convicted of a felony? No. Not Crenshaw. Cartwright's like, he better have lied. I'm hoping he lied. If he told the truth and we missed it, we're fucked. He fucking lied. And he goes, thank God he lied. He lied. Oh, that saved everybody's ass. If he had wrote on the application that he hadn't been convicted, or that he had been convicted and everybody missed it, oh, shit. We'd have been fucked. Chris says, wasn't that in the first week of your time on BBL? Yeah, it was six shows in. Wouldn't surprise me if the whistleblower's real first name was Greg. Would not surprise me at all. Matt says he's still committing felonies doing that terrible podcast with Steve. That podcast is a felony. It's assault. Jeremy says, does Steve know this story and knowingly do a show with a felon? I'm sure Steve's heard the story, but I doubt he believes it because he's stupid. That's what I think. He doesn't believe it. Fuck him. This will all come back around. Okay? Remember, first of all, I always remember jersey numbers. Second of all, it'll just work its way back around at some point. At some point, something will happen, and it'll be giving us something further down the road to talk about. All right. Linda says, I wonder if Greg objects to Steve doing a podcast with him. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Where was I? I was saying goodbye to the audience on Facebook and on YouTube. Where are they? Okay. Join me later on this evening. If you haven't yet done this, sign up for my Patreon. More than 10 hours additional content every single week, including Who Are These Free Beers? Today, we're getting started at 6 p.m. with a new edition. That is show number 29 of Who Are These Free Beers? Followed up with the latest edition of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. You can find it at patreon.com/Eric Zane. And I've got options for you. You can sign up for free for 7 days to try it out. And this is a good week to try it out. Go to patreon.com/Eric Zane. And you do have to put in a payment form, like a credit card. But you can cancel it right after. And then you still get the 7 days. Then at the end of the 7 days, you make your decision whether or not you want to sign up again. Your credit card is still on file. Just enable it. And you pay me either $5 a month for all the audio or $10 a month for the audio, the video, and the live streams. All right? patreon.com/Eric Zane. As always, send me an email when you want to say hi or tell me to fuck off or whatever you want. Send me a link to a story that you think would be interesting for me to talk about. You can send it along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And a great company called Shoreliner Striping. You can see their logo right over my shoulder, at least for a second there. They stripe parking lots. They stripe athletic fields. They are awesome. They are owned and operated by my buddy Timmy Mayer. Shoreliners Striping. You can find them on Facebook, and they have a website as well. They sponsor my inbox. All right. Chris writes, I can't wait for the next 1 minute of the Bomity podcast. Episode number 1 with Ben Glaze. That will be included in today's Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Thank you to them. Thank you to Kuiper Tree Care. They just signed up for another quarter of marketing. I'm very happy about that. And I owe that to you, the audience members who reached out to Kuiper Tree Care. And, when the folks at places like Kuiper Tree Care see that the show works and that they are getting a return on their investment, that makes them want to sign up again. And that's how this all works. If I didn't have the sponsors and you supporting the sponsors, I do not have a show. So thank you for that. If you are in West Michigan, please consider the pros at Kuiper Tree Care. 3 certified arborists on staff. Just get an estimate and you'll see how top-notch they are. This isn't like, Dan in a van or Chuck in a truck. This is a high-end organization that will make you very, very happy with your decision for tree removal, pruning, land clearing, storm cleanup, stump grinding, or tree risk assessment. Call or text to get that estimate at 616-828-8225. Thank you to the folks who have reached out in the past and called upon them. It really means a lot when you call my sponsors. Thank you. All right. In addition to them, Joe Martinez at A&E Heating and Cooling. That special deal where you can get your furnace tuned up and get a diagnostic, an exam or a test on your furnace to make sure it's running at peak performance. Regularly, that's $145, and it's well worth it. But he's offering it for free through a deal with DTE, the power company. Or the gas company. So what you do is you call Joe, 616-516-8579. And with that, you are signing up, and he comes to your house, and voila. He does all the work I told you about, and then he leaves, and you don't pay a dime. Nothing out of your pocket. It isn't like you have to go cash in a rebate or anything like that. Literally, DTE pays him $145. So that's how he makes the money. And you get it 100% free. There's that old saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch. I learned that in economics class. Well, that's not true. This is 100% free. You are not paying for this at all. The only catch is you can't have taken advantage of this in the last 2 years. And it is good till early December. So make that call and schedule. 616-516-8579. I had David, that is Joe's son-in-law, the Chinese Italian here, just yesterday. And he had to wade through piles of cat puke. I felt so bad about that. David, I am sorry, my friend. So embarrassing. He goes, we see it all the time. It's like, you're saying that to make me feel better. God damn. So embarrassing. All right. That is Act 1 of the podcast. Act 2 is available right after this one. Go check it out. What are you doing? Don't miss a second of it. Thank you so much.